In a world without a compass, lost in endless fog, a Viking longship sailed toward a land they could not see. How? The sun, their only guide, had vanished days ago. The stars were cloaked by an impenetrable grey ceiling above them. Yet the sagas speak of a magical tool, a crystal that could find the sun even on the darkest of days. They called it the Solarstein. The Sunstone. Was this powerful artifact merely a legend? Or something more? The ship's chieftain, Ragnar, felt the crew's growing fear. Supplies were dwindling, and their hopes were fading with the light. He stared into the oppressive fog, his knuckles white on the ship's tiller. Direction was lost. The sea offered no answers. The very idea of crossing this ocean was an impossible dream. Yet the stories insisted they had done it, time and again. This journey is not just about a voyage, but about a secret. A piece of science that looked exactly like magic. To understand the stone, we must first understand their world. A world of ice, ambition, and incredible bravery. Land was scarce and resources were finite. To survive and to thrive meant they had to look beyond the horizon. They built the finest ships the world had ever seen. Long, slender vessels capable of crossing the most treacherous seas. But the greatest ship is useless if its captain doesn't know the way. This was the puzzle they had to solve. For these explorers, the prize was a new world. The price of failure? To vanish into the icy sea forever. Ragnar retreats to his small cabin. There, he unwraps a simple leather pouch, his movements slow and deliberate. Inside is not gold, nor a weapon. It is a single milky white crystal, cool to the touch and cloudy within. This was the Sunstone, passed down from his father and his father before him. A navigator's most sacred tool. But could a simple stone truly pierce the veil of the sky? The crew watched him, their faces a mix of hope and doubt. He needed to find the sun's position. The direction of its hidden light held the key to their survival. Modern science offers a clue. Certain crystals, like calcite, have a peculiar property called birefringence. They split light. This means a single beam of light entering the crystal exits as two. An optical illusion with a powerful purpose. Sunlight, even on a cloudy day, is polarized. It carries a hidden signature of its direction, invisible to the naked eye, but not invisible to the sunstone. The crystal could translate this hidden language for the person holding it. Ragnar raises the stone toward the brightest part of the sky. His practiced eye looks for a very specific change. He slowly rotates the crystal. As he does, the two images of a room carved on its side shift and blur. He searches for the one single point where the two images merge, where they become one sharp, clear symbol. That point of clarity, that perfect alignment, would reveal the sun's true axis. It was a compass born from light itself. Archaeologists were skeptical for centuries. Was there any physical proof that such a remarkable device ever existed? Then, from a shipwreck, came an answer. A small, unassuming disc that would change everything we knew. He held the crystal to the grey sky. As he turned it, a ghostly image of the sun's path burned through the haze. The two blurred runes inside the stone began to converge. Closer and closer, until they became one perfect mark. There. A faint line of golden light seemed to project from the stone, pointing westward across the endless water. He shouted the new bearing. The crew, their doubt replaced by awe, scrambled to adjust the ship's great square sail. This wasn't a one-time trick. It was a system. By taking readings at different times, they could chart a course. They combined the Sunstone's reading with other tools. A sun compass, a notched shadow board, told them the time of day. Each piece of information was a star in their mental map. Slowly, they were painting a path across the blank ocean. Days turned into a week. The fog remained, but now it was no longer a prison. It was just weather. Their greatest challenge was not the storms or the sea monsters of myth. It was the emptiness, the lack of landmarks. But with the stone, they carried a piece of the sun with them, a constant, reliable guide in their hands. This incredible feat of navigation wasn't just legend. It was the application of keen observation and natural science. They didn't need to understand the physics of polarized light. They just needed to know that it worked. They followed the birds, watched the whales. Every sign from nature was a clue, a piece of the great puzzle. The sunstone was their most advanced instrument in a toolkit of deep environmental knowledge. Man and nature working together. Then, one morning, a change. A sailor pointed to the horizon. The fog seemed to be thinning, breaking apart. For the first time in weeks, they saw the sun with their own eyes. A glorious golden orb low in the sky. Ragnar held up the sunstone one last time. The beam it cast matched the true sun's position perfectly. The legend was true. The stone had kept its silent promise, guiding them through the darkness toward the light. Their journey was far from over. Ahead of them lay Greenland, a stepping stone of ice on the path to a new continent. They resupplied, repaired their ship, and shared stories of the magical stone. Their confidence had been forged in the fog. But the final leg of the journey was the most dangerous. An unknown sea leading to a land known only from whispered tales. They were sailing off the edge of their known world. Propelled by courage and a small translucent stone, this is the moment where history holds its breath, where myth and reality sail together on the same tide. Storms battered them, waves crashed over the deck. But now they had an anchor for their hope, the sunstone. Each day Ragnar took his reading, marking their progress on a leather chart. A steady westward line. They were not lost. They were pioneers, drawing the map as they went, guided by a secret from the sky. What kind of mind could discover such a thing? To see a tool for navigation inside a common piece of rock. It speaks to a culture deeply connected to the natural world. A people who listened to its subtle whispers. The sunstone wasn't an invention in the modern sense. It was a discovery, a partnership with the laws of physics, a change in the water's color, a new kind of bird circling the mast. The signs were growing stronger. Then, the scent on the wind. Not salt and ice, but damp earth, pine and leaves. The smell of land. Ragnar felt it before he saw it. A certainty that their long gamble across the ocean was about to pay off. He didn't need the stone now. His own senses, honed by the sea, told him they had arrived. The story of the sunstone is a reminder that sometimes the most powerful tools are hidden in plain sight. It tells us that our ancestors were not primitive. They were brilliant observers, scientists of the natural world. They learned the language of light, of wind, of water. And with that knowledge, they redrew the map of the world. A lookout cries out from the mast. A single word that changes history forever. Land. The crew rushes to the side. Through the final wisps of mist, a dark line appears. A line that grows into forests, hills, and a new shore. This was Vinland, the land of vines. The New World, reached centuries before any other European. The impossible voyage was complete. The great gamble had yielded the ultimate prize. A continent. The full system is revealed. A masterpiece of engineering, science, and unwavering human spirit working as one. This technology gave the Norse an unprecedented edge. It unlocked the pathways to Iceland, Greenland, and beyond. Settlements were established, trade routes opened. An entire chapter of human history written by this secret knowledge. But as new technologies like the magnetic compass arrived, the old ways faded. The stone's secrets were slowly forgotten. It passed from a vital tool into the realm of myth, a half-remembered fable in the great Norse sagas. For centuries, we thought it was just a story, until science and archaeology rediscovered the truth hidden within. The principle of the sunstone lives on today. It's in the polarized sunglasses we wear to cut the sun's glare. It's in the LCD screens of our phones and computers. And it's used by scientists to study everything from minerals to galaxies. An ancient echo in our modern world. A testament to the idea that some truths are timeless. The sunstone teaches us that myth is often a vessel for forgotten science, and every stone carries a story. Through storm and doubt, the stone held its promise. Before them, a shore of impossible green rose from the waves. Uncover more hidden histories that connect us all. Subscribe and continue the journey with us. Every story matters.